Next, we are going to take up heat content or enthalpy. The first question is, why do we need heat content or enthalpy? If you remember, internal energy change is measured at constant volume. That is, when process is carried out in closed container. But actually, most of the processes are carried out in open container, that is at constant pressure. Therefore, we need a thermodynamic property which is measured at constant pressure, and that thermodynamic property is enthalpy. So that is the reason that we need enthalpy. Now, what is enthalpy? Enthalpy is defined as total heat content of the system. Total heat content of the system is called enthalpy. Mathematically, H is equal to U plus PV. H is denoting enthalpy, U is internal energy, P is pressure, external pressure, and V is volume. At constant temperature and pressure, delta H will become equal to delta U plus P delta V. Why P delta V? Because pressure is constant and delta V represents change in volume. So delta U is change in internal energy and P delta V is W. That is, W means work done. Now, most of the chemical reactions occur at constant pressure, that is 1 atmosphere, and in open vessel. That is the reason that we need enthalpy or heat content. When delta V is equal to 0, that is, there is no change in volume, delta H is equal to delta U. When delta H is negative, reaction is exothermic. Now, why reaction is exothermic? Because heat is evolved. Why heat is evolved? Because delta H is equal to Hp minus Hr. And when Hp is less than Hr, heat will be evolved and delta H will be negative. Similarly, delta H is positive for endothermic reaction. Why? Because delta H is equal to Hp minus Hr. And in endothermic process, Hp is more than Hr. So delta H is positive in endothermic process. These are very important to identify whether the given reaction is exothermic or endothermic. Next, enthalpy of a system depends upon physical state. Solid, liquid, and gas means if water liquid is formed from hydrogen and oxygen gas, amount of energy evolved will be minus 286 kilojoules per mole. Now, if we prepare water gas, the amount of energy evolved will be minus 241 kilojoules per mole approximately. It means that the enthalpy change depends upon physical state of the substance formed. H is a state function, means enthalpy is a state function, means it depends upon initial and final state and it does not depend upon path. An absolute value of enthalpy cannot be determined. But absolute enthalpy of monoatomic ideal gas can be determined and it is equal to 5 by 2 RT per mole. In this case, delta H is equal to 0. Why delta H is equal to 0? If we take delta H, it will become 5 by 2 R into delta T. And in isothermal, delta T is equal to 0. So delta H will also be 0 in isothermal conditions. Change in enthalpy of the products and reactants at 298 Kelvin and 1 atmospheric pressure is called standard molar enthalpy change. Standard enthalpy change or standard molar enthalpy change, which is denoted by delta H standard. Now, how to measure delta H? Delta U was the heat exchanged at with the surroundings at constant volume, whereas delta H is the heat evolved or absorbed at constant pressure. That is, when process is carried out in open container. So this is the apparatus calorimeter which is used for delta H measurement. Here, reaction is carried out in the mixture and there is a thermometer which will note the rise in temperature. And here we have to keep external pressure equal to 1 atmosphere because this here container has to be open. So with the help of thermometer, we will record the rise in temperature and applying the formula Q is equal to M into C into delta T, we will be able to find out the enthalpy change, which is measured at constant pressure. Next point is very important. The enthalpy of all elements in their standard state is taken as 0. Standard state means natural state in which it occurs. For example, carbon in graphite state has 0. Similarly, iodine solid is 0. Bromine liquid is 0. So only in standard state their enthalpy change is 0. Let's take up this question. The enthalpies of all elements in their standard states, the correct answer is 0. B part is the correct answer. Now we are going to take up again most important point, the relationship between delta H and delta U. You will have numericals in which delta H and delta U, one of them will be given and other you have to find out. So with the help of this relationship you can do it. At constant pressure, delta H is equal to delta U plus P delta V according to first law of thermodynamics. Delta U is equal to Q plus W if you remember. So W will be equal to minus P delta V. Delta U will be equal to Q minus P delta V, or delta U is equal to Q minus P delta V plus P delta V. This will get cancelled. So delta H will be equal to Q at constant pressure. That is, enthalpy change is equal to heat exchange with the surrounding at constant pressure. For liquids and solids, delta V is equal to 0. So W is equal to 0. Delta H is equal to delta U. For gaseous state, PV is equal to nRT. So P delta V is equal to delta nRT. Delta H is equal to delta U plus delta nRT. Now what is this delta N? Delta N is number of moles of gaseous products minus number of moles of gaseous reactants. R is gas constant 8.314 joules per Kelvin per mole. Because here we are measuring energy, so the value of R will be in joules. T will be temperature in Kelvin. Now when delta N is 0, delta H will be equal to delta U. That is, number of moles of gaseous reactants are equal to number of moles of gaseous products. If delta N is negative, delta H will be less than delta U. And if delta N is positive, delta H will be greater than delta U. It is quite clear from this formula to interpret the relationship between delta H and delta U when delta N is known to you. Next, we are taking delta U of combustion of methane. This is a question based on this topic. Delta U of combustion of methane is minus X kilojoules per mole. So we have to find out value of delta H. We want to find out whether it will be A part, B part, C part or D part. So first, to solve this question, first step is to write balanced chemical equation. Methane gas plus 2 oxygen gas gives you CO2 gas plus 2 water liquid. So first step is to find out delta N. Delta N is number of moles of gaseous products minus number of moles of gaseous reactants. There is only 1 mole of gaseous products and 3 moles of gaseous reactants. 1 minus 3 comes out to be minus 2. Formula is delta H standard is equal to delta U standard plus delta N into RT. So delta U is minus X minus 2 RT. It means delta H will be less than delta U. The correct answer is C part. Next, we are taking law of thermodynamics. Laws of thermodynamics involve the study of heat change. First, we are taking Lavoisier and Laplace law. This law is based on first law of thermodynamics. The heat released in the preparation of a compound from its constituting elements is same as the amount of heat required to decompose that compound into its elements. For example, carbon plus oxygen gives you CO2 and delta H is minus 94.3 kilocalories. If you decompose CO2 into carbon solid and oxygen gas, delta H will have same value with opposite sign. Sign becomes positive. This is Lavoisier and Laplace law. Next, we are taking most important law, Hess's law of constant heat summation. When a chemical reaction gets completed directly in one step or indirectly in 2 or more steps, the total energy change in the reaction remains the same. That is, change does not depend upon path of the reaction. In simple words, whenever reaction takes place in one step or in several steps, the enthalpy change remains the same. This reactant is changing into product in the single step. The heat involved is Q, which may be absorbed or evolved. When it is carried out in many steps, that is first step R to A, Q1 heat is involved, A to B, Q2 heat is evolved, B to products, Q3 heat is evolved. So according to this law, Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3. that is, it does not depend upon in how many steps reaction is complete, the energy change, enthalpy change remains the same.